o'clock, good evening or morning, wherever you are around the world, watching coverage of Hurricane Matthew, our 8th hour of continuous coverage, showing the storm as it continues to progress towards Haiti. Winds of 145 miles an hour, which is what we suggested some time ago, has been confirmed by the National Hurricane Center. Pressure 934 millibars and just hours away from Haiti at that intensity. It's going to be, we expect it will be a very destructive storm and possibly a very dangerous storm. Well, indeed it is, but will those dangers be realized in Haiti? We hope not, but we fear so. My name's Nathan Foy. I'm here once again, 3 o'clock UTC, 4 a.m. here in the UK, and 11 o'clock on the US East Coast. I'm joined by the Skype team, David, Hank, Lee, John, and Marcel. Good evening and morning.
Evening.
Evening.
I think it's afternoon
Hey,
now,
good
isn't
afternoon.
it? In Australia, yes.
Yes, 1300 hours or 1400 hours if you're in, Tasmania, Victoria, New South Wales. I'm here in Queensland, so I'm on Eastern Standard Time. And it's good to be here.
And what time is it where the storm is right now? Is that also on Eastern Time, or is it an hour forward?
It's 6 hours behind us. So
It's an hour back.
yeah, so it's 10 p.m.
Is
It
it?
would be 10.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's the same time. It's the same time as where Adam is.
One sec.
So it's 10 p.m. there.
It's the same in Colombia, isn't it, Marcel?
Time zones are weird.
Time zones are weird.
They don't
What?
use daylight savings, that's why.
Yeah,
What?
I just wanted to get a
Yeah.
gravity of the time zones. Marcel's 10 o'clock there? Is that correct?
Yes, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
10
10 o'clock. It's
10 o'clock over in
with the
Colombia,
storm
10
at the
o'clock in
moment.
Haiti because of no daylight savings time. Okay, we got
Where
through
the
that.
storm is 10
They
p.m.
they didn't save any light this year. I mean, I thought they were starting to start saving some next year.
Oh,
Oh,
gee. Enough of that. Now, we saw the latest from the NHC. In truth, nothing is really new, but let's reiterate since we've got the screen share up. Though the track, I expect, which has it already updated that? Yes, it has. So there's still, no, the cone shifted west. How about that? Have a look at that.
and the comments will explode in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the cone is halfway over Florida almost. I would still say 50% chance at best of tropical storm conditions in Florida at the moment. Those chances may increase as time goes on, but I wouldn't be prepared to sort of put people under that pressure of, oh, there's an 80% chance of such a thing happening, when at the moment we're sort of playing that part down just a little bit, because so many times we've seen storms moving, predicting stuff like that. I mean, who remembers Erica? And other storms in the past, and not coming to fruition. So we've got to be very careful here when we're talking about potential effects in Florida. Yes, a state of emergency has been declared. I'd rather call it a state of preparedness, and people should be preparing in Florida, but people shouldn't be taking action yet, and nor should they until at least 1.5 or 2 days from now, depending where in Florida you are. The Bahamas, however, a lot of the Bahamas under hurricane warnings, so all the Bahamas should be preparing for the storm. Cuba should have already prepared. Haiti is obviously right under the gun now. Jamaica is hoping that they'll be seeing the worst of the storm around now, and a lot of people, a few people I've seen not reporting very much in Jamaica, and you can sort of see why. It's only on the very edge, and it's pretty dry on the western side of the storm.
There's one thing I want to note.
I mean, you look at the western coast of Jamaica there, you saw briefly, there's hardly anything going on there.
Yeah. But now the central core of, not the central core, the CDO, the edges of the CDO are now beginning to come on shore, the Tiburon Peninsula of Haiti. That's the southern peninsula of the country.
the one thing I wanted to note before my Skype decided to say screw you and cut out was that the NHC might put some hurricane watches on Florida within the next 6 to 12 hours. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but that's just gonna make more panic. And watch this thing watch this thing just like curve out the sea and nothing happen.
Yeah, good job, NHC. What else other achievements have you done for fair warnings this year?
John, it's not the NHC's fault, okay? October is by far the most unpredictable month in the entire planet.
Very true.
Yeah, you've seen storms like Sandy, Joaquin, Karen.
Yeah, I will give them a hard time for that in October, but there's one thing I want to give them a hard time about.
You're a little bit loud there, John.
Sorry. One thing I want to give them a hard time about was probably in early September, late August, was possibly a hurricane watch for a storm that was not even a T, was not even a TS at the time.
Okay, that was kind of okay because the storm actually did become a hurricane, but at the time it was just, you're stupid.
Yeah, just be careful next time because
it was crazy, but let's not talk about such frivolous things right now.
Yes. At least this system is actually a full-blown hurricane in the Caribbean right now, so let's actually talk about it.
I have this question.
Yes.
Does one expect the cone to track further west?
Well,
taking it
we
more
don't know.
Florida?
We don't know, and we'll probably find out in about, well, I don't know, maybe 3 hours when 6E comes out. Maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know how long it takes for the models to get through to the web pages. But I'd say about 3 hours, between 3 and 4 hours, the models will change. And so that means the next NHC forecast, the next full advisory, which is going to be 6 hours from now. So...
Whoa! Breaking news.
Uh-oh. Don't shout so loud.
A little bit softer, John, please.
Last flight level wind recording was 145 knot.
Oh my.
Okay.
I'll give you the link to it. Here, just look at the, here is the link coming right through to you, right here in the chat. I can't screen share. You guys are going to have to do it for me.
You're disproportionately loud. You'll have to turn your mic down a bit.
And John, while we wait for that link to come up, BNO News, Nathan, they're now reporting Hurricane Matthew may impact Florida later this week, leaving that part aside. Watches are likely to be issued soon for portions of the state.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with watches coming out inside the next 24 hours.
Might want to take a look at that graphic, Nathan, on screen share.
There isn't one.
I posted the link.
Yeah, well, I'm unable to do that, so someone else would.
Okay,
but we'll try and make sense of that in a minute. So.
Someone says 140 knots is in Cat 4. I'm going to say no. That's actually 160 miles an hour.
Yeah, but you said flight level, didn't you?
Yeah, flight level 145, yeah.
And what was the flight level?
Flight level was usual flight level.
So,
normal.
What, 1,500 feet above sea level?
3,100 meters, which is normal.
3,100 meters?
Yeah, then again, with a storm this strong, I mean, your winds at the surface and winds at flight level are going to be almost similar, if not only a couple mile an hour off.
Nathan, WTVJ, NBC 6 Miami, they're now on board Florida, moving further into Matthew's cone as per the 11 p.m. cone.
Yeah, the cone has shifted west, but it would need to take some more yet if we're going to see Florida get hit. I don't really want to speculate until the storm passes Haiti and Cuba, because not only will the models change, but we don't know how strong this storm will be on the other side of Cuba, and that can change what a model is going to think. So I think we can't trust the models until the storm passes Cuba, and then we'll see what intensity it's at then, and that will help us make a decision. I just wonder whether the westward motion. I've not seen intensity models recently. Are they still keeping the storm strong, or are they trending west because it'll be a weaker storm? Is what I want to know.
And while we think about that question asked by Nathan, I have breaking news out of Australia. The Australian Weather Bureau has just put out a posting on their Twitter account. New South Wales, state of New South Wales, has recorded its wettest September on record, breaking previous record set in 1903.
Wow.
Yeah. John requested if I screen share this graphic shown by the Recon, and
Okay.
I would confirm, just zooming in to make it easier to understand. Right about here is Cat 5, so it crosses that line.
And what
So
pressure
they found-
did they record?
Pressure.
Just scroll
They
down.
found it. Oh my, that's zoomed in.
Same pressure. Same pressure.
The same pressure.
Same pressure, but then again, you can easily have a Cat 5 with 930 millibars.
Oh yeah, and as people have said earlier in the stream, you know, winds catching up to the pressure potentially.
Potentially, but then again, we just have to wait for the NHC just to.
They might do like one of those emergency. Yep, we're gonna change the numbers this hour.
They could, because it is
They
getting
did
pretty
it. They did
close.
it last hour. They dropped the pressure by 6 millibars last advisory. So they could easily do it again and just raise the pressure. Not raise the pressure.
But you know,
Once
you can see the
There's a
NHC
pressure.
headline there. You know, life-threatening winds and rain expected in Haiti tonight, and that's
Yeah,
very true.
basically.
And it could get, and well, thinking about landfall time, it's probably going to be early morning local time, maybe around daybreak, maybe slightly after daybreak, in that southwestern peninsula.
Hey, Nathan, does the recon data, the recon wind speed support 140 knot?
oh my.
Well,
That's the $1 question.
Devon's more qualified than me in answering that question. I don't know if he's still around. I know he's not here in the call. I wouldn't want to say it's a Category 5.
Hello?
I don't think it's a Category 5 personally. But we'll wait for more satellite imagery, and if my mind changes, then I'll let you know. In fact, there's a new image that's just come out, the 245 UTC image. The storm does look better in that frame, but it's still not quite a Cat 5. But that's on the assumption that the eye temperature is only -40. But the Recon and the drop sonde earlier reported +28 apparently. If that's true, then we may well be looking at a Category 5.
Flight level winds of 143 knots would suggest that.
And there's the voice of Devon.
I know I've been in and out of this stream a lot.
That's fine.
I'm sorry about
It's alright. I'm surprised to hear you back. Welcome back.
that. Yeah, I'm probably going to stay for an even more limited amount of time this time.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to pop in as much as possible.
Does that recon graphic support 140 knot?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Oof. 143 knot flight level winds, that would suggest at least high-end Cat 4. And if they want to use the same flight level to ground level relation that they did last time, well, 145 knot flight level winds would mean 150 knot, which would be 175, because last time they called it a Cat 5, the flight level winds were only 132.
I guess we're gonna need to hear. You need to see a drop sonde for that.
Guys,
I'm waiting for the I'm waiting for the
guys,
drop
I
in the
think
southeastern
NHC
eyewall.
I think the NHC has re-updated their advisory.
They have?
So,
Have
oh,
they?
wait, never mind. Never mind.
No, they haven't.
I was about to say, have they? I just refreshed 30 seconds ago.
Could they be watching a stream?
I wouldn't be surprised if they are.
Don't
Okay.
say that. You'll put yourself
So-
under pressure. Now,
I think that if Matthew makes one full on 80, it will be a very serious storm, and it could make.
I don't think it
very, very
needs to make
serious
landfall
damage.
to do that.
No.
I could just miss and cause issues.
I think it will.
Death.
Ooh, it's just gonna be really close to call
I
regardless.
do think it will graze that western peninsula. You look at the movement recently; it's been dead north.
A little bit west of north from what
yeah.
I've seen lately.
Yeah.
Just a smidge west of north.
Well, if you extrapolate it over the 6-hour period, dead north.
Yep.
I'll be right back. So,
So
Back it up.
there we are, and I think now the storm is less than 100 miles from landfall. Maybe
In fact, I think the storm's slowing down,
that's what I thought.
and that can't be good news.
Screen shares now.
Well, it's just off the coast of Haiti and Jamaica right now. Any movement to the north, and the storm will be right over both islands.
Administração.
So now that this blow up has happened, you think Jamaica were wrong in downgrading that hurricane warning?
I don't want to say that they were wrong, but if it was me, I would have at least kept the hurricane warning for the eastern part of the island.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, the western side of the island looks pretty much in the clear right now.
Calm.
Yep, hardly
What a
anything going on.
difference! What a difference 50 miles makes.
That's right. Though that is the dry side of the storm, of course. The eastern side is certainly got a lot more activity going on.
Yeah, the huge thunderstorm complex right off the coast of Santo Domingo.
And commences Devon's coughing fit.
Tried to find the mute button, I couldn't.
Did we reiterate the warnings? I don't think we have.
Sure.
If you'd
So-
like to.
Yes. Warnings. Did I click on the right thing? No. Warnings. Okay, so hurricane warning is in effect for the entirety of Haiti, for the Cuban provinces of Guantanamo, Santiago de Cuba, Holguin, oh boy, I butchered that bad, Holguin, Granma, and Las Tunas. Hurricane warnings are also issued for the following islands in the Bahamas: Inaguas, Maya Aguana, Acklands, Cook, Crooked Island, Long Cay, and Rag Island. Long Island, Exuma, Rum Cay, San Salvador, and Cat Island, all underneath hurricane warnings. Hurricane watches are in effect for the following islands in the Bahamas: the Abacos, Andros Island, Berry Island, Bimini, Eleuthera Island, Grand Bahama Island, and New Providence, including Nassau, I believe.
Yes.
Hurricane watches are also in effect for Turks and Caicos Islands and the Cuban province of Camagüey, and that is on both the northern and southern coasts of that province.
And what do you think of this?
Tropical
Oh, sorry. Thought you
Tropical
were
storm
finished.
warnings are in effect for all of Jamaica and in the Dominican Republic from Barahona westward to the border of Haiti, and a tropical storm watch is in effect from the Dominican Republic from Puerto Plata westward to the border with Haiti.
And what do you think of this recent model shift to the west?
I don't like it.
Hmm.
I don't like it.
And
I really
well, the
like it.
question I was asking before you arrived is, can it be attributed to the storm being weaker than expected past Cuba, or has it got nothing to do with that?
Could be. Could have something to do with that. That would shift a track westward, no doubt. Yeah, that would definitely shift a track westward, and I could see a lot of the models expecting a close passage here, Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina, and then shooting out to sea in a very sharp turn, very similar to what the ECMWF's been saying over the past few days.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna be getting going real soon myself. I got tons of work to do. I'm probably gonna be spending an all-nighter tonight getting all this work done. So.
Oh wow, NavGem model
Yes.
takes the storm right over Williamsport.
Oh dear.
Ah, have fun with that one. I guess you're gonna be having a fun time if that happens.
Yep. I
Regardless-
don't expect this storm to produce significant effects here in Pennsylvania, but if that happens, yeah, it looks like we're going to get some rain, and we need it.
Yeah, I know. Same here in the Northeast. We've been having this nasty drought up in eastern New Massachusetts. Any rain would be appreciated. We had a little bit of rain over the last couple of days, but I think it's kind of slowed down now since the low has moved out. The low is expected to stall for a couple of days, but that's not the case. It's already moved out and
Yep.
gone.
And it's going to be replaced by another trough, which is going to lift this storm up.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that trough interacts with Matthew.
Right.
It could play out similar to Sandy, but it could play out somewhat different too.
It's looking like that's not going to be the case right now, John.
I'm just saying a possibility.
No model is expecting a Sandy-like hook back to the west.
Yeah.
Not at least up until Nova Scotia, Maine, New Brunswick, Newfoundland.
John, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Oops, sorry, I forgot to mute myself.
There's
I was just rapping.
231 people listening to you pouring something.
No, I should have muted myself. Again, blooper reel. Regardless.
Worse than that.
Never mind. Ignore me. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Go on,
I
it's your-
shouldn't.
I'm very disappointed.
Go on, keep going. Whatever you were saying.
Yeah. Yes. Regardless, it's something definitely worth watching here. Me being on the East Coast of the United States, something to watch. And I'm going to be
Latest drop missed the eye by a pretty good amount.
missed it by a mile.
By a mile.
Maybe two.
I don't see any drop in the radius of maximum winds, which is disappointing.
Sad face.
Yeah,
Well,
well, the storm does appear to be only broadening in the late frames.
Yeah, and that 140 mile an hour wind recording is making me really nervous.
145.
Yeah.
John.
What?
145.
Pretty high knot
Yeah,
amount.
that's right.
Ooh. Well, we'll see what the NHC comes up with at 2 o'clock.
I don't know about
I'll-
an eastward jog in that latest frame, Devon. Just a jog at the moment. One frame.
Yeah,
Well-
this storm is trying to get its core together here, and
Yeah. Could someone possibly take the screen share and show us some infrared imagery, because I don't think we've shown the people on the stream that for some time, and I sort of feel
Okay.
they should take a look,
Want-
because it will
you
tell us a lot
want
more.
IR? You want some IR? You got some IR.
Wow, thank you. I think it will
Yes.
show people a lot more. So,
Well,
here's
I'll
this.
be departing the call now, so have a great night.
All right.
Bye.
See you, John.
Have a
If I
great
can
night.
find the end button. Ah! Damn
I can
phone.
find it for you if you like.
Nah, it's
Alright.
okay. I got it. For everyone else on the stream watching,
Good night.
you in the Caribbean, you in the East Coast, you everywhere else, have a great night or day or evening or afternoon, wherever you are.
We'll try to.
Bye.
Oh, look, there's Facebook. I don't think we should be looking at that.
Okay, National Weather Service Miami is saying that the watches and warnings are likely in the morning.
All right. Now, Devon, can you tell me any clues on the storm's eye in those frames?
I am sick and tired of looking at an animation. It's going to look a lot better if I do this in a single photo.
Yeah.
Okay, this gets a lot easier to explain all of a sudden. Good. So you can see that we have very cold tops of the clouds here. Basically, what you see here is that there's a different shade of gray or white or black or whatever for how cold the top of the clouds are. And they emit a certain blackbody radiation, and that's picked up by a sensor out in space. Thus, we get the infrared image. So all that we're able to see here is the tops of the clouds in this storm, at least with infrared. And you can see here that we have very cold cloud tops, whites indicating roughly -70. The dark gray or cold medium gray, as it's usually referred, is -75, and the really dark gray, also known as the cold dark gray, is -80, roughly. There's some slight changes, and the black background there is roughly -65, and everything else is lower, warmer, I should say. So basically what you would want to see here in order to have a perfectly clear eye to the ground, you would want to see the eye temperature very warm on IR. And as you can see here, there is a overcast spot currently over the eye. The eye is not clear, as what we're calling it, even though the drop zones are saying that the eye is 27, 28 degrees centigrade. You're not going to see that here because there's some cirrus clouds obstructing the eye, which is causing us to see -40. I don't know what the central temperature is, but I'm going to guess around about -40. So what you would want is you want the cold cloud tops to completely encircle the eye, and the eye to be as warm as possible, and that's what would create the strongest system. You also want symmetry as well. You want to look for symmetry, and my god, this storm is anything but symmetric.
Yeah.
And it's always been anything but symmetric. The eye has never looked good with this storm, even when it was the supposed Cat 5. It didn't look good then. It doesn't look good now. I mean, it's still
one thing that's
gotten no doubt about it.
That's one thing that's gotten worse in the last 24 hours thanks to that blow up. Looks so unbalanced at the moment.
Yeah, it's really become asymmetric, especially to the left side, which is interesting nonetheless. As the storm moves close to or ashore on Haiti, obviously very heavy rains are going to be coming along. I'm concerned that this storm it seems like it's starting to stall a little bit, which is not good.
No, it's the worst thing it could do.
Well, in its current position, that actually isn't terrible. If this was 10 miles to the north, then I'd be like, please go on your merry way.
Yeah.
But at its current position, the rainfall probably it's probably heavy, but not ridiculously eye wall type heavy.
Yeah, it's getting there though.
Yes,
And
definitely. The eyes, like I said, just never really looked good on infrared. Now, on microwave wavelengths, which bounces off of water droplets, that's looked slightly better, but still not great. And on radar, it's looked, again,
We've not seen radar for a while.
Oh.
For several hours, actually. If it's possible to see it.
Yeah. Well, I'll get up Dr. McNulty's radar here. This is going to take forever to load, so please bear with that. Oh, maybe it won't take too long to load.
At least we got something to look at.
Yeah.
So this was some time ago.
Yeah, this is some time ago. This is while I was still doing the eyewall replacement cycle. And, wow,
Oh.
it's not coming up good on the radar at all there.
No, not good coverage there. It's as if they've got a blind spot.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me see where this is.
Ooh.
That's on Cuba, and that's down.
Oh,
Lovely.
already?
Let's try Guantanamo Bay. No, that's going to be too far out as well.
Too far.
So,
Well, we could still see what it's doing over Haiti there in those late frames already.
yes.
Yellows.
And you could definitely see
oranges.
heavy rains are starting to go over the Tiburon Peninsula now.
Yeah. There is
This still isn't good radar.
I saw on that satellite image that there is like a line, maybe a squall line over it or something. Maybe a bit more than that.
Yes, you can see it right there.
Clear to see.
Across the Tiburon Peninsula. Probably rain rates containing about an inch an hour on that.
And it's interesting to see that, Devon. Some people have asked about that area off to the east of thunderstorms that have always been persistent.
Yep.
And it's still almost like it's detached. There's a line dividing it from the actual storm you can see there.
It's not detached from the storm, though. It's
Yeah.
definitely associated with it.
Is it abnormal in any way?
No, not abnormal. There are definitely some powerful hurricanes that have had very strong convective bands before. Probably the most famous one, although this storm is nothing in comparison to the storm I'm about to bring up, and I put the line on nothing. But a storm that comes to mind when you want to talk about very strong convective bands is Typhoon Haiyan.
Oh dear.
Yeah, exactly. Had that probably
If you
biggest convective band I've ever seen in my life.
Haiyan peak, and again, this storm is no Haiyan. Good Lord, no. It's at least 50 miles an hour weaker than Haiyan. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Please don't start ranting in the comments section for what I'm saying here, but I'm going to take a look at some storms here and see what other storms have had very strong convective bands.
Yeah, Haiyan was probably the best. Was probably one of the most amazing looking convective bands I've ever seen in my life. Some parts of that band were actually stronger than the CDO itself. At least colder clouds.
What storm is this? Oh, no. Don't want that thing. Yeah, another storm that comes to mind, also in the Eastern Caribbean, Hurricane Lenny had a very similar feature to it.
True.
Cat 4, very similar to this storm.
Nearly a Cat 5.
Yeah, exactly. Even more similar to this storm. Let's see
East.
here. Obviously, Hurricane Gordon, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Ooh, Typhoon Malor.
Of
Had a
2015?
pretty nice one.
2015?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'll pull up visible of that. You can see the convective band on Malor extending out
That's
with
interesting.
the outflow here, extending out that way. And yeah, you can almost see the same thing happening here with Hurricane Matthew. You have this strong convective band on the right side that's associated with the spiral band outflow of the storm. And basically, convergence with the westerlies is forcing more uplift there. And you get thunderstorms when that happens.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's what I'm going to assume is happening there. Of course, I don't know everything.
Hmm.
Yeah,
As
that's-
much as I wish I had my crystal ball with me today, I unfortunately do not.
Your crystal ball or your crystal ball?
And we've still got a lot of comments coming in right now, but I don't think there are
Ooh.
particularly any that we need to reply to. Just a lot of people who I
good
believe there's a
lord.
lot of viewers in Florida still, and if that's the case
Yep.
and you're worried about the storm, well, don't worry just yet, but do check that everything is ready if you have to
Yes.
do something in the future.
That's probably the best course of action right now for Florida. It's not panic time yet. It's not evacuation time yet. But make sure that all of your emergency kits are stocked, prescription medications up to date, refilled, stashed away, etc. A few spare dollars obviously can go a long way. You might even want to go as far as having a couple days worth of clothes.
Now,
That can always help in
what's
case
this?
that you have to, just get out.
What's this we're being shown here?
Oh, I'm still screen sharing.
Yes.
Wow. No, I'm just looking at the latest drop
temperature.
slint. This is in the southeastern eye wall, and I'm seeing 145 miles per hour in the southeastern eye. That's drop 13. Drop 11 in the northwestern eye is weaker. A lot weaker. That drop only shows. That doesn't even show Cat 4 winds.
Oh my.
Well, it shows nearly Cat 5 winds at 943 millibars, but that's probably like 100 meters off the ground. So, yeah. This thing is definitely producing Cat 5 flight level winds. There's no doubt about
yeah.
that. The question is are they reaching the ground? And as of right now, they are just off the ground. I would say no more than 50 meters off the ground in the southeastern eye wall. Very close to coming to the ground are the Cat 5 winds there.
Wow. That's interesting. I don't know if there's anyone else who would like to say anything at this point. I don't know who is actually still with us in the room here. But
I'm going to disable screen share before I accidentally show something else.
I don't know if David, Hank, Lee, Marcel would like to say anything at this stage. And now they all talk.
I think Haitians should take seriously this storm because it is a very dangerous threat and it could cause rainfall and
Yes.
And I think I forgot the word.
You forgot.
It's fine. We get your point. You're exactly right.
And not light. And not light.
You're exactly correct there, Marcel. Looking at the recon, they're beginning to turn back towards the center of the storm.
I did notice that, Hank. Well, the latest GFS model run is just dandy for precipitation in Haiti. Yeah, very persistent on the 1 meter of rain on the Tiburon Peninsula.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very persistent. It's been saying this for a good 2 to 3 days now as well.
Yeah.
Also, the eastern tip of Cuba there might be getting a foot of rain plus as well.
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah.
Again, I don't really want to alarm people, but it appears, at least on satellite anyways, that this storm is starting to stall out a little bit.
But could that just be another one of the trochoidal oscillations?
It very well could be, and in fact, the eye probably looks the worst that it has since it became a major hurricane.
Yeah, new images just come out, and all the good work it's been doing in the last 2 hours appears to have erased.
Again.
Good. And again, it's not moving very quickly at all. In fact, it seems to be losing convection on the northern side of the system.
Yeah. It's just
As it moves north, it doesn't want to put its main convection over the Tiburon Peninsula.
Yeah, this storm has been
That is interesting.
This storm has been probably one of the most stubborn things I think I've ever seen. Like, it's
Yeah.
not wanting to intensify. Just not wanting to intensify.
Not wanting to intensify, not wanting to intensify, not wanting to weaken. It's perfectly fine at 140 miles an hour.
It's perfectly fine in mid-cat 4 range, yeah. Which is actually pretty setting the ace for the season relatively higher than it would have been otherwise. Because the ace of the season has been quite crappy considering the amount of named storms we've had. Because it's like Bonnie, Colin, Danielle, which was a legitimate tropical storm but lasted for a very short time. Fiona and Ian, Julia, whatever Julia was, and Lisa.
What was Julia, anyways? And Colin, for that matter.
Let's not go there. I just want to
Just
mention one little fact about Matthew. It's now officially been a Category 4 for 102 hours, which is level with Igor for
the Cat 5.
For the 4th longest amount of time a storm has spent as a Cat 4 in the 21st century.
What's number 1?
And the second longest in the Caribbean. The other two are, if you want to guess,
Ivan.
Yeah, and
Isabel.
Yes, Isabel. So second in the Caribbean for the longest time spent as a Cat 4 since the new millennium. So it's very interesting, and it's moved probably half the distance that Ivan moved at that intensity, if not a third of the distance or less.
Absolutely. Another thing that I'd like to point towards, maybe not as a direct point towards, but certainly an allusion towards the 1932 Cuba hurricane.
Oh gosh.
Now, I don't know what they were thinking when they said that thing was a Cat 5 for however long it was.
Oh, yeah.
But
3
this
days.
thing certainly proved that a storm like the 1932 hurricane can take a track like it did and at least maintain Cat 4 intensity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, imagine if it, if it was more of a bona fide Cat 5, Matthew, and say got to 175 miles an hour, maybe a bit further north than Colombia, because it's pretty far south. Who knows what it could have done for so many days if it managed to hold on to that intensity, because it managed to keep
it would have been
fine.
Insane. But this thing's been one of the messiest Cat 4s in the Atlantic in quite a while. Even Joaquin wasn't this messy of a Cat 4. And boy, even when storms seem to reach this intensity, Nathan, here in the Atlantic, they don't look good. They really don't. You take a look at storms in the Westpac like Nefertak, Moranti, Chaba.
That's what we're used to seeing.
You take a look at Winston, Fantala, Eula.
But the fact is, a hurricane in the Atlantic doesn't have to look as good as a West Pacific typhoon to be a Cat 5.
This is true. And continuing on, you talk about some of the East Pacific Cat 4s that have happened this year as well. And they looked absolutely stunning. And these Atlantic Category 4 or 5 systems that we've
They've
had.
always looked rough around the edges, though, haven't they?
They've always looked sort of rough, but man, especially the ones as of late have looked really awful. Sandy, probably one of the worst
Oh,
looking
here we
Cat
go.
3s we've seen in a while. Joaquin, ugh, I don't even know where to begin with that storm. And now we have this embarrassment to the Dvorak scale, basically throwing all satellite observations out the window. And throwing all recon observations out the window too, apparently, because recon doesn't know what to think about this storm.
Also, if you think about
Recon
it.
doesn't know what to think. Satellite doesn't know what to think. Simus has at least called this thing a Cat 5 on, I think, 5 different occasions now.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they've had this thing down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up.
Yeah, but also, this is probably the worst excuse for the end of the Cat 5 drought that we could have had. Same thing with Hermine and the Florida hurricane drought. The worst excuse.
Yeah. Well, Hermine caused, what, $300 million worth of damage and did exactly what I figured it would do. Certainly this storm is not going to cause $10 billion worth of damage in Haiti. Can a storm cause $10 billion worth of damage in Haiti?
Doubt it. I don't think so. I think those costs are only possible in Mexico and the United States. In the Atlantic, at least.
Yeah. Cuba as well. You can hit
Cuba.
some prize. You can hit some prize possessions in Cuba. Just take a look at Ike.
Yeah, forgot about Cuba. GFS is coming out frame by frame, and it looks to be a little bit further west than the past run. Let me check.
Oh, again?
Actually, no. It's about level in longitude, but it's just a little bit further north. Which is annoying, to say the least.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, these. Good lord, what's up with the comment section?
Any good
Don't draw
comment questions
attention.
to report on? Hank?
Recon is going back in the storm, and they're
Yes.
they're pretty far.
We will have a complete passage through the eye with a pressure observation coming at around 11:54 Eastern.
Which
So
is
that would be
about the time
what,
this hour ends.
5, 6, 7 minutes from now.
So, but that's the same time that this hour ends.
Yes.
We can hold on.
Is this the last hour of streaming?
No, we will be continuing at least another hour tonight.
Okay.
Okay, well, this was probably going to be my last hour, anyways, because I need to go to sleep soon because I got school in the morning. And
Yeah.
And I need my sleep.
So, Matthew, well, as a model, the GFS is still on the screen if you're unaware. But we wait and see for that latest recon information, and we just reiterate everything that we've been saying. Eastern coast of Jamaica could have issues. Haiti will definitely have issues. Could be a meter of rain. That's what the GFS thinks. Cuba.
That's just poor. Really, really poor. Especially if this thing stalls.
Absolutely. Cuba's going to have problems. Eastern tip of Cuba. And the Bahamas as well. Devon, what are you thinking about the Turks and Caicos Islands right now?
Those are the islands that are on like the southeast fringes of the Bahamas, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They collectively
they
have
appear
a
to
name
be
of their own, but I can't remember it.
Yeah. They seem to be they seem like they're going to get hit by the outer boondocks of the right side of the storm, which could mean that they get that convective band and get very heavy rain. Or
But do you
it could
think-
mean
do
that
you think
they
that band will be
split
there?
between the convective band and the storm and not get anything.
Will the
So
convective band still be there after it's moved over the Dominican Republic?
it can do that too. The convective band can stay there and act as a moisture plume for the system
Oh,
and
yeah.
stay over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, which would probably be worse than just the system passing over it.
Crikey.
Hmm. Oh, good lord.
Yes.
That's the last run. This is this run.
Oh, moving to the screen. What's this?
This is the last run from the GFS. This is this run.
Oh. So that's the Zero Zulu. Oh yes, yes, we're aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to some comments. Ramos Dillon says, which has been the best model? All of them haven't made up their mind. I'm not sure if they're referring to just this storm or as a whole this year.
As a whole this year, the HWRF is the big winner.
God model. My nickname for it.
Uh-huh.
Lucas Charm wants to
certainly
know...
performed. It performed poorly last year, but
yeah, it did.
it's had the key this year.
Lucas Charm wants to know if we've watched any conspiracy theory videos on Hurricane Matthew. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest.
There's already conspiracy videos
Yeah.
on Hurricane Matthew.
Well, this isn't
Yep.
one of them, in case you're wondering. And apparently Amanda... Oh, her name was somewhere. Amanda Carruthers says, shelves at Walmart already bare, apparently, wherever she is.
Oh my god.
What do they say?
Shelves at Walmart already bare. Now, I don't know if that's,
If that's
true or
in
if
Florida,
it's
that's sad.
Yeah.
If that's in
is.
Florida, that's sad. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that she's talking about Venezuela. But if that's Florida, that's really poor. And that's god awful communication by the United States government.
Yeah.
Really is.
Well, Recon due to go through the storm apparently in 2
Oh, I got the
minutes,
latest. I got the latest here, and oh wow, a couple of pressures didn't read here, but I see possibly the pressure being as low as 933 this time
Ooh.
around.
Oh yeah.
Flight level winds 130 knots. Surface winds 125 knots according to the SFMR. I don't really like trusting that. That might actually be as high as 130 there. Yeah, we'll just have to wait for the drops to come down on that again. But yeah, as of right now, the southwesterly eye wall, of course, has been the weakest part of the storm by far. The right front quadrant and the southeast quadrant, basically the entire right of the storm, has been by far the strongest. And that proves to be the same here. They may have enough. They may have enough merit to put this up to. Well, they already have it up to 145. Might be enough merit for 150. I don't know.
John Ryan has posted some outdated information. Hurricane Gilbert saying it had the lowest pressure in the Atlantic.
Hurricane Gilbert has the lowest pressure in the Atlantic, huh?
Used to. Long time ago.
Used to. Long time ago. Yeah.
That record was broken 11 years ago.
Yeah. By
20 days
certain,
short of the date, or maybe a bit less.
By some hurricane in the Western Caribbean that some name that got retired only used once, so I never remember it.
Oh dear. Well, as we approach midnight over there on the East Coast already.
Yep.
Goodness me.
Not good for me. I wish I could stay. I wish I could stay with the stream until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but I don't feel like dying tomorrow in class.
No, sounds like it's just me and Marcel, unless he's departing too.
I like I said, I really don't want to leave you guys
It's gonna
alone.
be a fun hour,
I
isn't
find
it?
this, I find this storm to be much. Oh, good lord.
No, I saw that comment.
Okay. I'm just going to move right along and say, yeah, I wish I could stay on. This is a lot more important than the stuff that I'm about to go do. Unfortunately, I can't hang around after the hour. So
Luckily, I can.
basically,
So.
basically, the bottom line here is if you're in Haiti and you somehow have enough money to be listening to this live stream, tell your friends, tell your family, tell whoever you need. Make sure that they're in wherever they need to be now, wherever you've chosen to be. It's pretty much too late at this point to re-choose. Tropical storm force winds are either already over the island or will be there shortly, with hurricane force winds probably to follow soon after. So make sure that you are in the structure that you feel you're most safe in and hunker down. For northern and central parts of Haiti, it looks like you're probably going to be mostly clear of the hurricane force winds.
Any news from that recon briefly?
Recon is showing, let's see, nothing. We just have to interpret what the pressure will be.
I'm going to wait for the drop.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, if you could just be with us in the first minutes of the next hour just to see what happens with that would be appreciated. For now, we're going to take a short break.
I will do.
Alright, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay tuned for more.